Hello, everyone. Oh, yeah. This is ALBERTA, the BitcoinMeister, the DisruptMeister. Welcome to the One Bitcoin Show. Today is the 4th of July. That's a holiday here in the United States, 2018. It's hot out there. Strong hand, long-term thinking, unconfiscatable. That's really important for today. Unconfiscatable deferral of gratification. Okay, this One Bitcoin Show is going to be really special. I've been hyping it up for a while. Well, actually, since Friday when Gabriel was on the This Week in Bitcoin show. Check that out in the archives, disruptmeister.com. Always check out all the links below. All these guys are linked to below. Actually, not Jaime yet. I'll get his link a little later on, whatever he wants me to put down there. But we got three guys, three Venezuelan experts, three guys of Venezuelan descent. They're all over the place. They are going to tell us what is going on with crypto in Venezuela, just discuss the whole situation down there, and give us insight. And because so many people have asked me, get the Venezuelan guys back on here, get them back. So I'm getting them all on here all at once. Okay. So you're getting your fix today. So everybody, Gabriel just dropped off. I'm sure he'll be back in a second. We got Jaime and we got Maximo. Maximo, we're going to open it up with you here. Okay. You're a very straight talker. An article just came out here in Breitbart. And this actually has nothing to do with cryptocurrency at all. But it says Venezuela, further protests as country begins running out of water. So that doesn't sound very good. What is the country running out of water, but what is the cryptocurrency situation at the same time?
Okay, thank you for having me, man. Okay, about the water thing. Actually, I don't think we're running out of water. But the problem is that the water distribution system that the governments use is pretty old. They haven't done what they have to do to improve that system. They don't even take care of it. So by the time, it's getting worse and worse. So sometimes you see people who spend like 1 week without any water going to their home. So it's a pretty difficult situation. But it's not because we don't have water, it's because the government is not able to deliver that water to the people.
Okay.
So that's the issue.
Okay, we want to get that out there because people have just read that article. And by the way, tomorrow's your Independence Day in Venezuela. Yeah. So that's so tell us what's going on. What's the crypto scene right now? What do you, if you give us a few, because not everyone's familiar with what's going on down there.
Yeah, well, actually, it's every day the crypto community in here is getting bigger and bigger. I'm kind of glad about the bear market that we're currently on because it gave us time to gave people time to actually learn about the technology, see how Bitcoin is useful, and see the reason why they should buy it, not just because the price is increasing and they think they're going to get rich fast. Actually, a lot of people is using Bitcoin to avoid hyperinflation. A lot of companies are using Bitcoin to avoid hyperinflation too. And the crypto community is growing by the time at a really nice pace. And I think we're on the right path to make cryptocurrency mainstream here in Venezuela.
Okay, this is good to know. Now, one thing that I was informed about that people don't hear a lot about is that there's a lot of Dash people around there.
Yeah.
So what's the story with the Dash? There's a big outreach from them?
Yeah. Okay. Well, let me. Okay. Well, I'm going to be kind of rude.
That's fine.
Right
That's
now.
good.
Okay. But well, the reason why Dash have so many people in here. Okay, you gotta realize the average person here in Venezuela make between $1 to $5 per month, right? So if they find a way that they can make $100 per month in here, they're going to do it because that's a lot of money in here. Maybe for you it's not that much money, but in here you can make a pretty good way of living with that money. So Dash have like what they call a treasury, right? So for every block that is mined, they get 10%. of that block. So right now they're making like $4 million per month. That's a lot of money. And if you live in any country and you contact the Dash Treasury, they're going to give you money to promote Dash in your country. So a lot of people here in Venezuela find out about that, and they're using the money that they sent, that the Dash Treasury sent them, to obviously promote the coin. But if they keep just a little bit, I'm talking like $50, they can make a pretty decent way of living in here. So it's not that the people who promote Dash, maybe some guys do it because they think Dash is going to change the world or something, but most of the guys are doing it because they like a job, okay?
Yeah, they want 50 bucks. They want 50 bucks. Yeah.
Sometimes you work for a company that you don't agree with what they are doing, but they're paying you. It's your job, right? So a lot of people who promote Dash in here, they do it because Dash is paying them to do so. But actually, that's not that bad, because while they're promoting Dash, well, people get into cryptocurrencies and they know about Bitcoin, and maybe later they start understanding all the fundamentals of why any coin has value.
Yeah.
But do I like Dash that much? No, I think Dash is a pretty centralized coin, and I don't see Dash going anywhere maybe in 5 years. But well, if Venezuelans are finding a way to make a living by promoting Dash, dude, we are in a hyperinflated currency country with a hyperinflated currency and capital and exchange control. So you can, man, good for them if they find a way of living by promoting Dash. But I don't agree with that much.
Okay, so it's a gate. It could be a gateway to cryptocurrency, though, as you said, and that is a positive. And the numbers that you went over when Gabriel was on the show on Friday, he did mention, people are getting money for this, and that's a good thing. Now, before we get to Gabriel on the subject, he talked about it on Friday's show. Jaime he was on a show a long time ago here on the Spanish-speaking version of this show we had once, and he has some thoughts on Dash, I believe. What do you think about the Dash situation down there?
I didn't thought about that the way that Maximo expressed. So it's really a company that it's running their business in Venezuela in a very convenient way, because like every other company, they found very hard-working, high-skilled, and very professional labor in Venezuela that they can pay a fraction of the cost from any other part of the world. And they have these, marketers, they have programmers, there are people working for them in Venezuela paying a fraction of the fair wage. I didn't thought about that. That's a very interesting point, but definitely it's very savage the way that Dash is approaching Venezuelan people, because they just promote their coin. It's just a single token that you can use to exchange value within all their peers. But like you mentioned, they have a treasury fund. It's a funny story with a client that I have in Venezuela. I remember, I don't know, it was like a year ago when BitMain released the D3, the miner, and they're, all over the place you have these profit generator or profit calculators that says that with a D3 you can generate like $5,000 per month. So this client was so into this that I had to say, you know what, go ahead, buy it. I can't tell you how to spend your money. Few months ago, he realized that it was just, it was just hype, and that's not the real number. And some of his miners went back. There's so many failures and stuff, And I sent him the advertising that I sent you that Dash had on a highway, on a main highway in Caracas, and told him, why don't you call them? They have a budget to help the Dash network. Say, hey, I'm a miner. You know, you're taking 55% of every single block and keeping that money. Why don't you help me to get new D3s so that I can run my miners and improve your network? And basically, of course, when he called to that number, the people just say that that's not how it works. They're not there to help the miners. They're there just to promote the coin. So it's very centralized. It's a business. We got to understand that Bitcoin is different because it's the only attempt at humanity in making sound money. The other things are just companies, and they're going to behave like companies.
Oh, that's a good, and with billboards too. So, Gabriel, have you seen these billboards that are down there? And what did you've already given some thoughts on Dash on the other show, but again, share them. And since we're talking altcoins, bring up Smart Cash too, and maybe we can talk about that also.
Sure. Thank you, and nice to talk to you guys. Very happy to be here once again. And yeah, I saw one big billboard from these guys that buy your crypto for bolívares, called Crypto Buyer, on the highway in Caracas. Didn't get to see the one of Dash though. And well, my thoughts on Dash, as I told you the other day, I think it's very cool. I like them a lot, and I think they're doing a great job. And I have nothing bad to say about them, really. I just wish they do well and they keep growing community, because eventually all those people who learn about Dash, eventually they're going to learn about Bitcoin. So it's cool with them. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So
I would like to I may add a show, because today is the 4th of July, right? Yeah. And we are, and of course, this video is seen very widely in the United States. So I would like to add this little clip for you. So,
wait, hang on a second. You're getting a little choppy there. You might want to. Yeah.
Like
wait, Gabriel.
Back.
Yeah, you can't. Wait, Gabriel, you're getting a little choppy. So maybe
hear me.
Turn off your video.
Can you guys?
Yeah, turn off your video and let's see how it sounds. Yes, we're live, baby, everyone. Pound that like button if you like live videos, everyone.
I would like to add something, man.
Now.
Yeah, it's choppy still.
Hear me now.
Yeah, now.
Okay.
Nah, it's choppy again. Log in and out like you did before. Yeah, I think you got to try another.
Log in and out. Okay.
Yeah. Maximo had something. Okay, so Maximo, what are you gonna say?
Yeah, actually, they have two big billboards here in two of the main highways of Caracas. Okay. Okay. Well, this is the thing about Dash. Okay. Yeah, the only thing good that they're doing is that they're getting people into cryptocurrency. After that, they're going to people who learn about Dash are going to learn about Bitcoin. Okay, my problem here is that this Dash treasury hires anyone to promote their coin. Most of the people who promote Dash, because I know them, I went to one of the conference. Man, these guys do not know anything about cryptocurrency. They know the basics. It's like the Dash treasury sends those guys a manual, and they start spreading what they have learned in such a short period of time. So what happened with the D3, the Dash ASIC miners from Bitmain, is that these Dash promoters were telling the people that they were going to get rich by mining Dash. And that was completely a lie. That shows that those guys do not know how mining works. So there is a lot of people who lose a lot of money because they bought these miners from those guys at, I don't know, $4,000, and those miners are making right now like $40 per month. So they're never going to get their money back. And these guys tells everyone that they should buy Dash because Dash is going to change the world, and that is going to be the best investment that they can. And we see the price of Dash go down like 90%. Okay, they don't tell the people that a cryptocurrency, or not cryptocurrency, Bitcoin is a long-term investment, and you should only invest what you can afford to lose. So that's my problem, okay, that these guys who are doing the conference do not know anything about cryptocurrencies, not even the economic part, not even the technical part, because you don't have to be a developer to start teaching people about cryptocurrencies. But at least you have to know the economic part. At least you gotta know what Bitcoin has value, what Bitcoin is really sound money. If you don't know that, if you don't know anything, the only thing you are doing is being paid to promote a coin. You cannot be out there giving financial advice to people, because you are going to make that people lose money.
Yeah, that point is a very valid one, and a huge point. These guys, and I think what you said before, the guys want to get paid. I don't think they're not doing it out of malicious intent. They want to get paid, and then they read a book about Dash, and then they become a Dash teacher. But that's not really a crypto expert there, so it's not exactly the person you want putting on an event. And so your point is very valid. All right, here now let's try Gabriel out again. Gabriel, get rid of your video though, just in case. Let's try it out without video and say something. All right, take it away, Gabriel, if you can hear me. Everybody wants to hear him because everybody loves him. He goes on his rants are legendary. All right, so Gabriel's still having tech difficulties. If he hears me, he should just try to do audio only. Okay, let's move on to Jaime here and talk about the some mining. You wanted to talk about. Oh, here we go. Well, hang on. Yeah, you got to go without video, Gabriel. It's not coming in good. Yeah, all right. Jaime, talk about some mining. You wanted to talk about mining also, I believe.
Yeah. Well, mining. I think these guys are more into the real facts, because they're down there in Venezuela. I just provide some security advice services to some medium-sized miners in Venezuela. I know that the mining community has been growing very, very organically. So I know people that are running their old S7s or S9s out of their apartment. They just take one of the rooms and stick there a couple of miners, and that's the way that they're making a living. You know, it's enough money to bring food to the table, to maintain a family of 4 or 6. This is very, very interesting, and this is the opportunity that Bitcoin it's providing to humanity. Something also that I wanted to add about the Dash thing that Maximo was talking about. I've noticed that it's very interesting when you talk to somebody that it's completely agnostic about Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies here in the United States. They don't get it easily. So it's not simple to get their heads away around the cryptocurrency concept, because they have credit cards. You have a miles point by using your credit card. You can, one of the main concerns that they have, okay, where do I call if something goes wrong? And that's the thing. It's a complete different system. When you talk to a Venezuelan about the cryptocurrency thing, they don't need to know how it works. They just want to know, okay, how can I get involved in that? Because I know where the power is. I know that there is no central government that it's going to print out thousands of these coins, and that's what I need. So it's a very different perspective from a Venezuelan that have seen their value, going into the drain, just because bad currency policy by the government. And the situation here in the US and also in Europe is that they don't see it from that perspective. They think that it's just, a geeky project that a couple of people releasing the internet, but it's more than that.
So are you saying that in general, the Venezuelan people in Venezuela, they don't want to have they don't need a customer service office. They don't ask for that type of thing.
Of course.
They understand decentralized. They understand decentralized.
Correct.
I can tell you for firsthand why we don't need customer service.
Please tell us. I think I know.
Yeah, well, because bankiers are terrible, man. If something goes wrong, you have to fix it by yourself. This is the thing, and I agree with Jaime. It's really hard to explain, and actually that's why I admire you, Adam, and all these guys who are in the United States trying to educate people about Bitcoin. It's much harder to educate an American citizen about Bitcoin than to educate a Venezuelan about Bitcoin, and that's because of what Venezuelans have been through.
Yeah, Venezuelan instinctively know why they need Bitcoin. Here in America, it's so. You know, you can get a different credit card, you can get PayPal, you can get many other payment methods, but they're not sound money.
No, but I don't think I don't think it's because of that. I think it's because when I tell the people, when I tell my clients that no one is in control of their money, they get happy. When you tell an American that no one is in control of their money, they have some doubts because they are always relying.
They get scared about that.
They are always relying or settling to authority, and that's funny, you know. And actually, I was talking with a guy from America about all this about Bitcoin, and he's an altcoiner. Actually, that guy made a show with Richard Hart about why he think Bitcoin has no value. And I was debating with that guy on Twitter, and I told him. He told me like, okay, Venezuela, Bitcoin only works in Venezuela because of your situation. And then I told the guy like, dude, any country can get into what Venezuela got 18 years ago. No one is safe from that. And he told me, no, of course not. The United States will never get into hyperinflation and socialism. Dude, 18 years ago, Venezuela was one of the stronger economies in South America. Every country in South America, basically, 18 years ago, relied on Venezuela. And actually, we have a stronger economy. Our currency was worth $2. So the dollar was worth less than $1 Bolivar 18 years ago, maybe, or something like that, okay?
Yeah, we had a really strong economy. The Bolivar was stronger than dollar in the 60s.
Yeah, we had the biggest oil reserve in the world, the biggest water reserve in the world, natural gas reserve in the world. So we had anything to make Venezuela the richest country in the world. But you know what we didn't have? Education. That's why we got ourselves into this trouble. And you see countries like Mexico, for example, they got a socialist president elected a couple days ago. And they can get in the same trouble that we are today. You see that happen with Argentina. You see that happen with Ecuador, Colombia, Brazil, a lot of countries in America, in Europe. No one is safe from that to happening. And when that happens, those guys are going to realize that the only sound money, the only money that works, and the only money that is truly yours is Bitcoin. But that they need to experience that, and that's bad. But human beings learn from experience.
Yes, you guys are making
It's a painful experience.
Great points here. Everybody, pound that like button. Check out the links below. Subscribe to the channel. Okay, Gabriel is here now. Gabriel, you got a guy from Mexico standing next to you. People don't even know this. Does he think Mexico is going full socialism?
Well, he pretty much thinks he's similar in my thoughts that in Mexico, what's gonna happen, we will have to see, because this president allegedly is like socialist, but you know the people in Mexico happen the same that here. They are fed up with the current government, the government that they had for the last 30, 40 years, because they are so corrupt, but they are friends with the United States. So, yeah, now this new president, we don't know if he's corrupt or if his government will be corrupt. But if anything, we know that this new president wants to be maybe friends with the Venezuelan government. So we don't really know what's going to happen. It's a wild bet for me.
All right. Now you sound beautiful. So say everything you were going to say beforehand. The floor is yours.
Okay, thank you. I just wanted to share a little piece of history since we're in the 4th of July and we're Venezuelans. So these things that I found out just a few days ago, and it's kind of interesting. It says on 4th of July, the United States also celebrated honor to the Libertador Simón Bolívar. Because what happened 201 years ago, this guy who was American called Gregor McGregor, he fought with the Libertador Simón Bolívar alongside. So he sent Gregor McGregor to this at the time called Isle of Amelie, which now is Florida State, and they put up the flag. What happened? They went to the fort called Fernandina, and it was protected by the Spanish, and they took over it. And then these guys, Luis Ari, Pedro Gual, Luis Brion, and Lino Clemente, Juan Germán Rocio, and Agustín Codazzi, they conformed the new republic on Florida, right? So Bolívar invaded Florida with the excuse of a military response against the United States because they were helping Spain. Actually, they sent some guns through the Orinoco River to Angostura. The Americans sent some guns to the resistance of the Spanish, who were losing the battle, right? Because at the time, Venezuela was free and New Granada, which now is Colombia, was being freed. But the real objective at that time was a strategic point to control communication through the sea with the Gulf of Mexico, the Antilles, and to deploy an attack on Cuba and cut relations of communications between Spain and United States. So once this republic was created, there were some people who didn't like it and they fled Florida. And then what happened on the 1st of July, they named what today is Jacksonville was the capital of this republic, and it was called Crawford at the time. So this guy, Pedro Gual, and this guy, Vicente Pasos Canqui, they made the constitution for Florida. So, yeah, it was a strategy they deployed to try to conquer Puerto Rico and Cuba from the Spanish Empire. And warn United States that they should be neutral in the fight between Venezuela and the Spanish. Yeah, so this is a little piece of story that I didn't know. I found out just a few days ago, and it's pretty interesting because Venezuelans and Americans, they share this love of democracy, right, and of independence. So now we bring this Independence Day now to our current time. So for us Venezuelans, independence, what it means right now, independence we have now, is what we can get with crypto, because the other independence has been lost. So yeah, North American people and Venezuelan people, they share this common love for independence. Actually, there were many fighters of Venezuela who went to the United States to help them fight the French and to help them fight the British. So for a good time, we share this common love for independence. And it was around the times of also the President Andrew Jackson, when he killed the banks. There was good relationships between Venezuela and the United States. Nowadays, it's completely different because, as we know, United States is the most powerful country, right? So they want to dictate what goes on around. And there's this big fight with the Venezuelan government and the United States government, in which they want to see who has the right and who has more power. So Venezuelans have been pretty down because the Venezuelan government wants to fight and wants to keep pushing this agenda of anti-imperialism and such. So what people are experiencing is just less freedom. And also United States, when you go to the United States, I've been there many times, what you can experience, it's a police state, pretty much like fascist, you know, like you can't do anything wrong because you have to pay or whatever.
Oh, okay. Now
And everything is in charge of the government. which is pretty much the concept of what a fascist government is. And in Venezuela, also, we have this problem that they're trying to be socialist and helping the people and all that. But at the end of the day, it's also very fascist, because the only things that you can do is what the government will allow you to do. And we, the people, have to continue fight all the time for our freedom. It's not like, okay, we won freedom 200 years ago. Yay, we're all good. No, we have to fight for this freedom every day, every single day. And the best tool that we have right now is cryptocurrencies. So this is why I love crypto so much, because it gives us independence. And now, the 4th of July, Independence Day of United States, yeah, we are living the independence through the independence of money. So yeah, my friend, that's my thoughts. Those are my thoughts I wanted to share with you.
Well, you tied it all together there. And to point out to the people who don't know yet, 4th of July is Independence Day here in America. 5th of July is Independence Day in Venezuela, which is tomorrow. Yes. I also want to say, you mentioned someone named Gregor, and coincidentally, a guy named Gregor Kovacs in the super chat sent $14.99. Thank you so much, Gregor.
Yeah, he's a friend of mine.
Thanks, Adam, for bringing exposure to Venezuela in regards to Bitcoin. Happy 4th of July. When real independence? Well, to answer that question, opt into the Bitcoin independence. That's the best I can say right now, and that's what I think Gabriel just said also. That's the first step, and it'll lead you to good places, I believe, because in every country there's a certain level of dependence and lack of independence. And yeah, when you're flying into the airports in the United States of America, it very much appears that you're entering a fascist state with the way you're searched. It can be horrifying. In fact, if you say the wrong words, it's just amazing. So again, I can complain or I can buy Bitcoin, and that's what I do. Bitcoin is my answer. That is personal responsibility there. Maximo, you were about to say something, I think, or you were just saying.
That Gregor is my friend. He's from Venezuela. He's living currently in the U.S. He left Venezuela because of the situation. Mm-hmm. Hello, man.
Yeah, we have a lot of former Venezuelans that do watch my show, and they enjoy this, and they love hearing stuff like this. So since Gabriel, you're wearing that smart cash thing. So tell us what is smart cash big in Venezuela, and then we'll hear what Maximo has to say about smart cash, if anything. Oh, you're muted, brother. You're muted. Unmute yourself. Yeah, too much.
This smart cash is growing in a community here in Venezuela. Actually, on Friday, there's a meetup of here in Caracas, and we've been doing some stuff, and there's independence also in that matter, because with smart cash you can put a proposal on whatever you like and how to help people and how to help the community. You submit your proposal. It is voted by everyone who has a wallet. Okay, you can vote, and then the community decides to give this money to purpose. And I think it's a great way to make a community grow. And in the exchange, we sell smart cash all the time. It's been growing a lot, and the price has been up and down. And the last 4 weeks, 3 weeks has been stable, and now it's been pumping up a little bit. Of course, it's not like Bitcoin. It's not as famous as Bitcoin, but if anything, it's another cryptocurrency.
I've got a question for you though. Have they reached out to you? Because I see here in the chat there's a guy that says hi from the Mexican smart cash community, and you've got a Mexican friend right there that's in the smart cash. Are they targeting Spanish-speaking markets or something like that?
Yes. Smart cash, they have this plan of growing a lot in Latin America, because they do know that these people in Peru, in Argentina, and Brazil, and here in Venezuela, they need this crypto, because it gives you this power to do stuff for your people, right? Because you can do proposals, and you can get a lot of smart cash depending on what you want to do. But you can get a lot of smart cash to do things for your community, like if you want to put a well of water, or if you want to do something for your city, or you want to help the elder or the children or whatever, you know, they will give you smart cash so that you can fulfill your dream and at the same time make the coin more famous, which as you altcoin should be and could be all about marketing. So yeah, I think they're going to grow. I think in the next 3-4 months there will be a huge pump of smart cash. I do not know when, but I'm sure it will come up. Yeah.
I have a question for you, Gabriel. I just heard about smart cash. I have no idea how it works or what's the value proposition. But everything that you have mentioned is that bringing smart cash to help people around your community. Why don't Bitcoin and why smart cash?
Yes, because can you go to a web page somewhere and get Bitcoin to help your community? Can you do a proposal to get Bitcoin, and can Bitcoin holders, wallets, vote for your proposal?
No, because it's decentralized.
Well, that will be one of the arguments. The other is that, of course, you could. If you want to help your community, for example, I'm on a very early stage of integrating a Lightning wallet to some of the non-profit organizations in Venezuela. I don't know if you have used Banesco. It's one of the largest banks in Venezuela.
Yes,
that has a donation button to some very interesting non-profit organizations like Children with Cancer, Down syndrome kids.
Yeah, but this is different because you can build your own proposal, right? And you can choose on what you want to do, and they will give you. It's not they, a person. It's just the community. The people will vote. Everyone will vote. So the voting is decentralized, and the decision, if you get the money to do whatever you want to do, decision is done decentralized because every wallet is just one vote. So
yeah, but that's the thing. I see. So the final goal to help somebody around you that needs the help, and you as the person that has the knowledge and can fill that gap, you can help them with Bitcoin already. So why will you use?
Where do I get the Bitcoin from? Where do I get them from? You know, I don't have a way of getting 200 Bitcoin or 3 Bitcoin to help.
Where is the smart cash coming from?
Yeah, you in your own wallet, you can do a proposal. You can read the proposals of other people, and you can vote for them. And you're not giving them your money, but Smart Cash community has one big pot of money, right? And then from there,
where that pot of money? I know that I thought when Gabriel is in the exchange, I took a look. I think that they are proof of stake coin, and 90% of the block reward is going to that treasury that give money to people.
Correct.
Well, correct. Yeah. Here's my problem with that. Okay. I know you run an exchange, and as any other business, you have to list coin to increase the volume because you make profit out of commission of the trade, right? That's fine. Okay, I don't have a problem with that. The thing is, okay, you don't need this supposed decentralized platform because a smart cash is not decentralized, man. The only coin that is decentralized is Bitcoin. We can talk about later in the show, and I can explain why I think that's true. But okay, so these guys build this blockchain, and that they control the money, and they start giving like crumbs to people to make the world think that they're helping everyone. But the truth is that these guys created their own money to make themselves rich, because I bet you that most of the money is going to the treasury, and you don't even know how this money is going to be spent.
How they spend that? So, it's no different from a non-profit organization here in the U.S. You know, they get grants from the government. They decide who to help, who they're going to add on their plan, but they have costs, and those costs are just controlled by them, and they can just buy in a jet or a new Ferrari, and you don't know. So I don't see the value.
If I might add, if in this specific case they want, if you do a proposal, let's say you will get $20,000 worth of smart cash, right, for doing something. You will not get the whole money in one shot. You will have to do milestones, right? So you may have to put up your own money for the first milestone, and when you complete that, then you will get some money, and then you do the next milestone, right? And then you get more money,
you could
and
have
so
done
on.
that. You could have done that with BitConnect. You could have done that with BitConnect. And look where BitConnect is today.
No, with BitConnect, no, it doesn't work. It went bankrupt.
No, yeah, you can write an email to the people of BitConnect, and they will send you money if you promote the event that you were promoting. Like, I don't know, if you open a nightclub and you put all BitConnect signs in all the nightclub, they will send you money to do that, and you can say that you are using that money to bring fun to the people.
Okay, I'm gonna try with the BitConnect guys to see if
So
they
here's the thing. We're talking about money, about currency.
Yeah.
We can treat cigarettes in a certain environment as money. You can use that as a medium of exchange. In this case, we're talking about smart cash being a medium of exchange to help or to develop whatever proposal you have. But we're talking that Bitcoin is the only real attempt from humanity to create sound money, that it's completely decentralized, that it's completely censorship resistant. And that's why I don't understand this constant attempt from altcoiners to create the most recent and the newest Bitcoin 2.0 because it solves X or Y problem.
Bitcoin is the next Bitcoin. And as everyone can see, even in Venezuela, they are having the same exact arguments we have all over the world. Altcoin versus Bitcoin, decentralized versus centralized. What is the next Bitcoin? Should there be marketing? It's true everywhere. And I think we're gonna tie up the smart cash discussion right now. I think everybody definitely gets the point here. They clearly are targeting. I think it's fascinating they're targeting Latin America, though. That is quite obvious. I did want to ask Maximo a question that I asked Gabriel on the previous show, and this is going to open up a can of worms too. Maximo, did you read the article about the guy who wants to bring Bitcoin into Venezuela? It was from like a week ago. So some wealthy people, they kind of wanted to airdrop it or something like. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, actually, after the show I did with you, I think I put a tweet about the local Bitcoin volumes increasing in Venezuela, and then that guy, the guy who's doing that proposal, contacted me. We had a little chat on Twitter. We didn't go through the whole process, but he sent me a link about this proposal. I agree with Gabriel what he said on the show in this one. Okay, I don't think if you throw $1 million in Venezuela and give it for free to the people, that's not going to help. Yeah, it's going to help in the short term, but you're looking to make a change for the long term. Free money doesn't help do not help a country. Okay, free money is most like a cancer.
We have enough socialism. You have enough socialism with our government.
The government gives free stuff in here, and people get used to that. That's why we're in this situation.
Yeah, it doesn't solve anything.
What you can do is invest that money in, and actually, well, I'm going to sell. Me and my partners, we have a mining. We have a company who sells mining equipment in Venezuela, and we're working on building a non-profit organization. And actually, I'm interested in talking to these guys because our focus is on to help the education of the kids, which are the generations that are going to rebuild our country. So if you have $1 million and you want to help Venezuela, for example, well, you can build a school and teach these kids about math and programming and software and technology and Bitcoin. And that is going to give them freedom in the future, and that is what is going to help the country. But if you come in here and throw $1 million in I don't know, you throw a little bit of money to any account, the people is just going to spend that money. It's not going to make any difference. Yeah, maybe they can eat something today, but you have to teach them how to use that money, what money is, why governments are bad. And if you invest that money into that, then you can make a difference in the long term. So I think it's great that these people want to help Venezuela, but that's not the right way, just to give free money to the people.
Yeah, and that is what Gabriel said on the show. Long-term thinking, people. Long-term thinking. So, would Jaime, would you agree that maybe this guy should pay people in Venezuela to do? I mean, maybe set up a network where people in Venezuela can do computer work for people in America, internet marketing. You know, at least so that it's not being given away. They're being paid to do something crypto related, maybe.
Correct. Yeah, absolutely. It's more, you know, it's wisely spend that money because we have enough socialism. We don't want anything giving away, you know, money, because that's like Maximo said, people are going to spend that money in dumb stuff, or they're just going to buy something, they're going to eat something one day, and that's it. That's not going to help in the long term the country. The idea that he's proposing, it's beautiful. I love it, and I would like to devote some, you know, efforts or capital or whatever to fund these. This is cool to have kids, you know, learning programming, cryptography, whatever, something that will help rebuild the country from down bottom. It's just a crazy idea. You cannot go and just dump $20 million in Bitcoin and expect that that's going to help the country. It's not going to solve any problems in the long term.
Gabriel, what do you think? You know, did you hear Maximo just mentioned his nonprofit idea there? Do you think that's interesting type of thing? Since you've already, I mean, you've given your opinion about the dude dropping the 20 million on the previous show, but unmute.
Yes, my friend. I think he's got a great point there. I think there should be a way of international people try to find a way to buy stuff from Venezuelans. It would be services or goods or produce or whatever. And I wanted to add just a little thing to share with you guys, if you allow me, just that you guys can see what goes on in the crypto market here in Venezuela. Can you see this? Can you see these yellow things? These are the people in local Bitcoins telling the other guys through the advertisement that they should pump up the price in Bolivares, because it was in the natural flow, it was being traded at 19 billion. But these guys go like, hey, you wake up, you bastards, you have to pump up the price. You're selling your Bitcoin just too low. So this, what I want to do sharing this is just let you know that not even Bitcoin is out of the question of being manipulated by a few hands of people. You know, can you read that? It says price, pump up the price. Don't give away your BTC at this price. Pump up the price. The Bitcoin is pumping. And these are a few guys that can manipulate the price because their volume is not so big. The volume in local Bitcoins for the Venezuelan economy, as I explained to you the other day, just around 500,000 worth of $500,000 worth of Bitcoin every day. So we can have a big manipulation. If a lot of people would sell Bitcoin for Bolivares, it could help stop the declining of the price so quick. So we're seeing that there's a free market trying to operate while there's other people who want to push the price around. So it's also very interesting about freedom, because you can sell your Bitcoin at whatever price you like, but there will be people who will be messing with the price. So it's very important that we are aware of this.
Something else I noticed on that chart, there sure are a lot of zeros there in terms of how long those boulevard numbers are. I mean, millions of boulevards for. It's unbelievable how hyperinflated everything has gotten there.
Yeah, yesterday, for instance, I bought 1 billion bolivares for 4.9 million satoshis. So 0.0495. It bought me 1 billion bolivares. Can you believe that?
His numbers are getting way too big. No American could handle it down there. None. I gotta tell you that. All right, Maximo, you're about to chime in on something there, I think.
Oh, no, yeah. Well, that's actually free market, man. It's going to happen anywhere, right? It's just supply and demand. There should, those are a couple of guys, because I work a lot with local Bitcoins. We help a lot of companies buy Bitcoin through local Bitcoins. And actually, the thing about the volume, I think is much more than that. For example, I have contact. I do trades with a lot of people who works with remittances companies from Chile, Argentina, Colombia, and there is a lot of Venezuelan people in those countries, and they send money to their friends or their families in here. And actually, we do a lot of trades. I'm talking about a pretty decent amount of money, and we don't do it through local Bitcoins, because now we have made a business relationship, and we do it directly. So there is a lot of people like us who are doing business. We met through local Bitcoin, and now we're doing it directly.
Yeah, now it's OTC. You've got an OTC market set
Yeah, it's like
there.
an OTC. Yeah, like an OTC. So the volume of the BTC market here in Venezuela is a lot bigger than that. I think maybe double that.
Well, we were talking about mining beforehand. I know Jaime said some stuff about mining. You've got some insight into the mining, Maximo. I don't think you shared anything about the mining situation right now. And after you go about mining, obviously Gabriel's got to talk about mining also.
Yeah,
people want to hear about the mining.
The mining situation in here. After the government started talking about the Petro, a lot of people who didn't know about Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, they started knowing about it, right? And then they realized that they can make a lot of money by mining in here because electricity is free. So a lot of people started buying mining equipment, and then the governments realized that, and they closed, they censored the people who were trying to enter mining equipment into the country. So that's what happened with socialist government and communist governments. They don't want to help the people. When they created the Petro, they didn't want to help the people, right? They just created that. They wanted to create the Petro for their own benefit. And when they realized that people started realizing that they can make money out of Bitcoin by mining it, well, they told the people that, okay, you cannot bring any more mining equipment to our country, and if you try to, we're going to confiscate. But anytime you close a door, other opens. So now there is a black market for you to get your mining equipment inside Venezuela. So yeah, now you have to pay the guys who received the mining machine. You have to pay them, and they deliver that mining equipment to your home. But that's the thing. The government just wants to keep the people under their control. They want to keep us dependent. And that's the situation about mining. They keep confiscating mining equipment. Now you cannot enter in a legal way the mining equipment to the country. So that's the situation in here.
I'm glad you brought the Petro, because we're going to have to bring that up. We're going to have to talk about that too. But before we talk about that, Gabriel, you tell us about mining now, the situation.
Well, on the thoughts that Maximo shared, I agree with him. But I know there is a way, which is that you have to have an enterprise which is dedicated, dedicated to mining, right? And then you should go with this paper of your enterprise that you just created with an open account, and then go to the superintendency and ask for a license. And then if they give you a license, then you can import, whatever you want. But what's going on is that the superintendency has been removed. The other guy that was in charge of that and in charge of developing Petro, he was removed from office because he executed a poor job. He badly executed everything. So there's no Petro. People lost confidence. He made the president look bad. And for whatever reason, I don't know exactly what happened. The Petro just didn't go up front, hasn't gone out. There's no Petro yet. So as I said to you the other day, I might say it's a good idea from a government to make his own crypto. You know, I think it's cool. I think every government is gonna eventually have their own crypto for doing their things, right? And but the moment the Petro is inexistent, okay, so what can I say? I would like them to have success on it, but I don't know if they will ever have success on it. You know, I don't know what's gonna happen. I believe they're gonna roll it out eventually, but I don't know when. So yeah, it's kind of tricky.
Jaime, your thoughts on the Petro?
Listen, it's been very obfuscated, the information about the Petro. They said something, they released a white paper. After they released the white paper, they changed a lot of the basics. It's very mysterious. There is no official information about the Petro. I'm not excited at all about another shitcoin. It's just the Bolivar in a crypto fashion distributed. I don't believe anything that this government creates. We gotta understand something and start with the fact that the Venezuelan government is composed by mobsters and bandits who are in charge of they are in power with the sole purpose of facilitating their own illicit activities. That's why they are there. So we have drug dealers, we have all sort of bad people, and you can say that for pretty much every government in the world, you know. But for example, here in the US, you have government bureaucrats that are related to the pharmacy industry, to the military industry, so different industries. But in Venezuela, it's just drugs and many other low-profile stuff. So I don't think that that's gonna go anywhere. It's just a way to profit on money that the Venezuelan government was able to spend. They sell this idea of the Petro just to circumvent the sanctions, the U.S. sanctions. And by the way, those sanctions are not against the Venezuelan people. The sanctions are against Venezuelan politicians that they say they hate the United States empire, but all their assets, all their properties, all their money, it's related and it's tainted somewhere to the United States government. So that's where the sanctions came from. So it's a good thing because that brought into the attention of many people the possibility of circumventing international sanctions. That's good. That's good for Bitcoin in my books, because that opens people's mind to the idea of censorship-resistant sound money like Bitcoin. But yeah, those are my 2 cents about the Petro. It doesn't work. It's not going to work. It's just Bolivar in a crypto version.
Maximo, a lot was just said by these two dudes. I think you have some thoughts on that.
Yeah. Where do I start? Okay.
And also, I think I interrupted you. You have so much to say. So say everything, you guys.
Yeah. Okay, the Petro. The fact is, the government didn't launch the Petro because if they did it in the right way, yeah, probably there was an intrinsic way to free the economy. Because if we Venezuelans have a way to legally exchange bolivars to Petro and then Petro to Bitcoin, well, we have no barriers, right? And then the governments realized that, and they didn't go through the project because they don't want to help us. That's where I disagree with Gabriel. Okay, he still has hopes for governments. He still has hope for politicians. I don't. Okay, I think all politicians are corrupt. All governments are corrupt, and the only way that we can have freedom is through Bitcoin, right? So there is no a good way where any government is going to make a difference by printing their own coin, printing their own token. It's just fiat in digital form, and we already have that. We nearly have cash in the street, Most of the money is digital. So why do you need to create another form of money with another name, right? In a really inefficient database, which is blockchain. Blockchain only works if you're trying to achieve decentralization. Why would a government try to achieve decentralization? So the Petro is just a really bad idea, and I think, for example, I don't like using exchanges here in Venezuela, and I know you, Gabriel, have exchange, but I don't recommend anyone to do so, because it's a way for you to give information to the government. It's a way that the government can, for example, if I start using your exchange, if I send money to my wallet, and if the government wants, they can go knock your door down and ask for the customer information. And if they ask for your customer information, well, you will have to give it. And we saw that happen in the US. Why would not happen in Venezuela? It happens to Coinbase and the IRS. And trust me, they are going to give your information away. So if the government has a pretty decent blockchain researcher, they will be able to find how many Bitcoins do you have. And for any exchange that you register, you have to do a KYC. You have to put your address. You have to put where you live. You have to put your ID. So you are giving the government all the information that you were hiding from them. So and that's why they want maybe if they create a cryptocurrency. Well, if you're able to trade that cryptocurrency to Bitcoins, then you are giving the government all the information, because Bitcoin is still domino. Bitcoin is not private enough, okay? So that's why I think, I don't think the government has anything to do with crypto. They don't want to help the people. They only want to keep the control they already have. Because if they want to achieve decentralization, why would you need a government in first place, right? If you want to achieve what Bitcoin is achieving, you don't need a government. You have a governance process that have been tested, and that's why I believe the only coin that is decentralized is Bitcoin.
All right, we gotta have Gabriel chime in on this one now.
Well, yeah, guys, I lost the connection for like 5 minutes, so I didn't exactly know what you were talking about. But if anything, I would say that anyone can use cryptocurrency. It's just not only for people, but it can also be used by businesses and by industries and eventually by government. I think this is inevitable. This is gonna happen. Every single country is gonna have their own crypto in order to control or not to control or to avoid sanctions or whatever they want to do with it. Everyone's gonna have their own crypto. I think every single company in the world is gonna have their own crypto. I believe Bitcoin will still be leader, but I think there's a room for more. Okay, I have these conversations many times that they say, well, only Bitcoin will survive, or only this or the other. I think not. I think they will coexist. Fiat will coexist with all cryptos, and Bitcoin being dominant will also coexist with other cryptos, because it's unstoppable. Okay, the ability for people to create their own currency is there, so people are going to use it, and this will only give more freedom. This is my thoughts.
So you picture a future with
dude, I hear some echo. Somebody's got some unplugged somewhere. Okay, that's better. Go for it.
Okay, so you picture a future with 100 million currencies. So you will go to Amazon and you can buy with Amazon coin, with Open Bazaar coin, with Bitcoin, with Litecoin, with Smart Cash, with I don't know, Maximo coin, Adams coin, Jaime coin. So you pick. That's your future, man. That's not money. Actually, that's not money. If I will give you a present. There is a nice book called Bitcoin Standard, and it explains to you why Bitcoin have volume. That there is a reason why we don't have.
Maximo. I have that book. Actually, I met the writer when I was in Germany. Seifert and Amos, very cool guy, very interesting, very. I have that book, my friend. It's an awesome book.
Well, yeah. So you cannot have 1 million currencies. Actually, here there is a principle in economics that is called the Kirchhoff's law, that talks about when a country have two currencies, like for example Venezuela, and it's good money and bad money. And the reason why we don't have merchant adoption here in Venezuela is because of crypto merchant adoption. Is because it makes no sense for a business to accept crypto when the people have this foreign money, the bad money, which is the bolivar, that they wanted to spend. If you have the chances to spend your bolivars, why would you spend your bitcoins or your dollars, right? You are going to spend the bad form of money, not the good one. You want to store the bad one.
Technology evolves, when technology evolves just a little more, you will send. I will send Gabriel coin to Maximo, and it will turn into Maximo coin. So I think it will be solved. No problem.
Why would you coin have any value?
This is called barter. You know, we have had that for thousands of years. That's barter. So if you're a hairdresser, I'm a mechanic, and Maximo is a tomato producer, we are gonna come up with a system that, okay, I have to give Maximo, I don't know, I have to fix his car twice, and he's gonna give me a bag of tomatoes. But that's not how economics work. That's barter, and that's the same with all these shitcoins. We're gonna realize that there must be a more convenient way, and that's where the fiat currency system thrives. And now that we have Bitcoin, not cryptocurrencies, we have to make sure and use very carefully this language. Cryptocurrencies, it's just Bitcoin. There is no other currency that makes a cryptographic message sound money other than Bitcoin. The other things are just attempts to have a fiat resemble fiat system into crypto. So the only way that we can achieve that is through Bitcoin.
All right.
If you allow me to elaborate on what Jaime said, just really quick.
Real quick, yeah.
What happens if I'm like a dentist or doctor and I have only so many hours in the year to work, right? What if I tokenize my time and then I sell you my time for Bitcoin? But with the coin that I just gave you, you get the right to be at my place and to get the service that I provide. You know, I don't.
That's my point. That's my point. You can achieve that with Bitcoin.
Products.
That's my point. You can achieve that with Bitcoin.
To trade it for.
That's my point. You can achieve that with Bitcoin because you peg your time with Bitcoin, which is a global use currency that it's more convenient for everybody around the world to peg your services into Bitcoin, not to your doctor's coin, and then you have to keep a track of the value of your doctor coin into Bitcoin so that I can know how to translate the value of the cryptocurrency to the service that I provide.
For example, you said that you have an amount of hours of work. Why? What would you think? So why do you think that these, which is exists? If you're a dentist, you can use dental coin. But why would you think that this coin is going to prove anything of your work? It's going to prove anything of your system? You're going to still work the same hours, and you're going to still be paid the same amount of money in fiat, in Bitcoin, or in dental coin. So it makes no sense. Okay, all these ICOs, all these blockchains, all these altcoins that they tell you that they're going to deliver something, they end up delivering nothing. Okay, you don't need a coin to be a dentist. You don't need a coin to be an engineer. You don't need a coin to be a developer. You just need to get paid for the work you do, and you don't need to create your own currency to do so. With Bitcoin or even with fiat, it's okay. The difference is that with Bitcoin, you are the truly owner of your money, and that's what we're discussing today. You can use blockchain for other type of stuff, okay? Blockchain is just a database, okay? But you don't need to tokenize everything. When people talk about tokenize, I think that they don't talk about tokenizing the way that you're going to pay in a hotel. For example, if you go to the Marriott hotel, you're going to pay with the Marriott coin. So you have to exchange your money to the Marriott coin and then pay to the hotel. That makes no sense. It's not practical, and it's not going to work in the future just because economics says so.
All right, I want to say one thing before we move on with this discussion here. You guys mentioned the Bitcoin Standard book, which I hear is a great book. The author will be speaking at the Bitcoin Rodeo in Calgary on the 9th and the 10th, and I will also be speaking there. go to bitcoinrodeo.com to learn more. Check out the link section below. I also included Jaime's link below. He gave that to me, so that's been updated. And we've got a question from the Super Chat audience. Thank you, Crypto Market TV. This is for all three of you guys, so pay attention. If I send Bitcoin to my friends in Venezuela, how can they cash it out for everyday expenses? I know what Gabriel's going to say. But Maximo, what are you going to say?
Use local Bitcoin, man. They will use local Bitcoin. They will get the bolivars and they can spend it.
All right, Gabriel, what do you say?
Yeah, you have that choice. Of course, decentralized local Bitcoins, and you can use also our exchange, Monkey Coin. No problem.
Okay, okay. And Jaime, anything to add to that?
Definitely, local Bitcoins. It's the way to go. Of course, for a $5 transaction, I think it's a little, you gotta go a little bit higher. I think it's $15 the common transaction, but yeah, local Bitcoin.
Gabriel, on the streets, do you see anyone directly accepting Bitcoin for services?
Yeah.
For every
there's a possibility. For instance, I don't remember the name of the mall, but there's a big mall where they sell all kinds of electrical appliances, such as computers and printers and cell phones and all that. When you go to one of those stores and then you talk to the owner and you say, okay, cool, I want to buy this computer from you. I don't have any bolivars, I don't have any dollars, I only have Bitcoin. Will you take it? They probably will say yes.
City Market in Sabana Grande, Caracas.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Maximo, add to that.
Yeah, that's the thing. For example, my dad went to his dentist like 2 months ago, and he told the dentist, like, hey, can I pay you with Bitcoin? And the coincidence is that the dentist had a Bitcoin miner, so yeah, he had a wallet, and he said, okay, yeah, it's X amount of money, you can pay me with Bitcoin. That's the thing. You can have that a small niche market of Bitcoin. I know another store here in Caracas that is doing that, but they do more for marketing to attract cryptocurrency people to that store. But most of the people is going to pay with bolivars for what I just said. You don't want to spend your Bitcoin if you can't spend your bolivars, right? That makes no sense. You are not going to store a hyperinflated currency. You want to store real sound money. So yeah, I think that the most secure way to exchange, of course, like I said, you can use gateway exchange, but if you want to avoid in the future the government knocking your door down, you should use a pseudominal platform to exchange your Bitcoin for bolivars.
All right. Well, this has been a wild and wacky show, baby, and the time is flying. Usually I don't let them go this long, but this is a very special show. Everyone knows that Venezuela is dear to my heart, and there's been so much demand out there. This is one of the most unique crypto shows you'll ever hear on YouTube. I mean, seriously, who does a Venezuela show like this out there? So pound that like button, people. Okay, so I want this to be the freestyle part of the show where you guys can just bring up anything you want to about Venezuela and Bitcoin and cryptocurrency or whatever. And just maybe you'll ask each other questions. I don't know. We'll start with Jaime. What's on your mind? What do you really want to get off your chest here about Venezuela and Bitcoin and cryptocurrency?
I just want to get out of my way the concept that I've noticed on many discussions online, conferences. The term cryptocurrency, it's being used very widely, but I think it's misused. So in what I would like to share is that Bitcoin is in the group of things trying to free society from inflationary government mandated shitcoins. And there is another group where you have all the rest of the crypto-based projects, okay? So that's a big difference. We gotta identify where each of these altcoins falls. I will say in this group, in this main group that is trying to free society from the fiat system, you can put Bitcoin there on the head, and you may have maybe Litecoin, Monero, some other grassroots-based projects, and then you have other companies or cryptocurrencies that are run by companies, and in that case, they're going to behave like companies. You know, they're going to have a pyramid structure. They're going to have a head. They're going to have expenses, and that's not what I sign up for. I just sign up for sound money, and I think that's Bitcoin.
Matt, let's go. Well, do you guys have thoughts on that? And then if you don't, we'll just go to Gabriel with his. He'll have a lot of stuff to get off his chest, I'm sure.
All right, guys, just to, let's say, to wrap it up, I'm just very happy to be with you guys. All this has been very interesting. For what I know, Venezuela is still a fertile ground for a lot of things, especially for crypto. We will see what happens in the next months. I will tell you this, the spotlight and the eyes will be looking to Venezuela to see what goes on. So we have a responsibility to do things the right way and to help the people and to spread the word about crypto and all the benefits that we can get, and just make this thing grow bigger and better every single year. So yeah, if anything, I'm very happy to be with you, and I think there's a bright future for crypto, and I think Venezuela eventually in the next years will come out of these big problems that's been going on. We still have to fight for freedom. Today is Independence Day for the United States. Tomorrow for Venezuela. We share a lot of history together, these two countries. And I think we all have to be together, unite, and work for the better, work for the best, help the people, and spread the word about crypto. Definitely. That's my message. Things are going to get better. Even if today they're bad, tomorrow is going to be a better day. That's my thoughts.
This is so appropriate for Independence Day. On the TV in the USA, there's all this fake Independence Day stuff, celebrating it based on just wearing some colors and everything. What that man just said, that's true Independence Day. And I'm so happy that I had this show on Independence Day. It all worked out great. July the 4th, baby. All right. Maximo, you've got your nonprofit idea that you want to talk about a little bit, and anything else, please, that's been left out that you want to bring up now.
Well, thank you for having me first. These have been fun. These have been fun, guys. I really have blast in here. About the nonprofit. We have been looking to do this, but we weren't sure how to where exactly where we're going to focus on. So, like I said, we're going to focus on education and feeding kids, which are the future of Venezuela. And maybe in a couple of weeks or a month, we should be launching the nonprofit. And I would love to do it in here, Adam. And I love your show, and I love anything you talk about in here. So I would love to do it in here if you're into it. You guys that are interested in Venezuela will have a way to help the people, to help the kids in here, to improve their life, and to give these kids opportunities that they, at these times in Venezuela, they don't have, because they don't have any money, they don't have any food, and we are trying to provide food to their table and education, so they can be a really, really good people. And good citizens in the future, and teach these kids about Bitcoin and everything. Actually, I'm going to contact a guy who has been in your show, Adam, JW, Weatherman I Am.
Yes.
And he has a project called MathBot.
Yeah, we talked about it here. Yeah.
It's a project that teach people programming and math, and you can reward the kids with Bitcoin. And I think that would be an amazing idea to integrate our nonprofit organization to MathBot, and people can pay for the education of these kids. So I'm really excited for.
That is an amazing idea, amazing use case for what they're trying to do over there. And he will be very interested in that. And I'm so glad that you're in motion and he's in motion and people are watching these shows and connecting with each other. I mean, it's awesome. It's a great feeling. And I want to see the youth, the young people of Venezuela to be the most educated in cryptocurrency in the whole world, because it will bring about change very quickly if that comes about.
Yeah.
If they become some of the top 10 most educated in terms of cryptocurrency in the world, the people of Venezuela, there'll be a whole new Venezuela very, very quickly. And hey man, you're one step closer to bringing that with your idea. So it'd be an honor to debut your idea on this. I mean, already it's kind of debuted on the show, but to have the official launch on this show one day, and maybe it'll be in conjunction with what JW is doing. We can all be on the show together, and who knows? There's so many possibilities here, and it is very exciting to be in motion.
Yeah, well, I think that's it, man. Thank you for everything, for all the work you do, man. You're helping a lot of people, and guys, we have to continue to work, educate people, teach people about Bitcoin, and because we're changing life. We're changing lives for better, and we will change the economy for the way money the way money works forever, man. So let's keep the good work, and thank you for having me.
All right, guys. Well, that is the end of the show. What a memorable and freaking awesome show this has been. I want to thank all of my guests, Gabriel, Jaime, and Maximo, for making it out here. Gabriel, thank you also. Special thanks to you for being on the show on Friday, which inspired this show. It was just a spur of a moment thing to do this, but if you hadn't showed up on Friday, this wouldn't have happened. So everything is related. That's why you got to be in motion, people. You just can't sit there and do nothing. Keep on doing things. You come up with new ideas and everything. Pound that like button. And again, and this Friday, this week in Bitcoin, we're going to have all Bitcoin Rodeo guests on. So guys that'll be speaking at the Bitcoin Rodeo will be on this Friday, this week in Bitcoin. Of course, tomorrow is Thursday. There'll be the regular One Bitcoin show here on the BitcoinMeister channel. So tune in here. I post a new show here every day, at least one, sometimes two. I'll see you guys. I'm Adam Meister, BitcoinMeister, Disrupt Meister. Remember to subscribe to the channel, like this video, share this video. I'll say hi to you guys in the chat real quick after this. See ya. Thanks again, guys.